Moses Lushiku 5. Transported to the third heaven. I was with my son in the faith, Bishop Joseph, and we were talking about some Bible issues when I was seized by the Spirit of God and I was transported to the third heaven. It was so intense that my understanding was when I wrote everything firsthand. The eloquence of the Lord in the third heaven was different for previous experience. I will try to speak like the Lord. Before I arrived in the third heaven, I arrived first in the outer court in the first heaven. I climbed the corridor of cloud leading to the second heaven. Then I entered the corridor of cloud leading to the third heaven. When I arrived at the third heaven, I noticed the form of a throne and the Lord Jesus Christ was sitting on the throne. The people around him looked like they were of the same age. They were dressed in garments very similar to the royal garment of gray color. I stepped towards the throne. The Lord called me and said, "Welcome, Prince among the princes." Previously he was calling me man, but this time around he called me Prince. Immediately I saw my garment changing to an extremely luxurious garment. It was royal clothes. Then I began to observe the surrounding. I noticed that there was no pavement here. There was emptiness and the throne of Jesus was suspended in emptiness and we were standing in emptiness. Everybody was coming to kneel before the throne of the Lord, but I noticed that the number was reduced in comparison to the first and second heaven. The Lord said, "This is a realm of emptiness, an emptiness that coordinates all things. The firmament is above all creation. When you leave the earth, you reach the cosmos, and beyond the cosmos, there is the firmament, and beyond the firmament, there is emptiness and nothingness." The Lord said, "This place is a dimension. The more you rise, the more there is emptiness and nothingness. It's like when you take a plane. The more you fly upward, you leave everything below. Even the cloud is left below. The more the aircraft rises, even the air is left below." The Lord said, "This is the dimension where there is no interest. It is all about worship. It's about the King and his Prince. The worship that is without interest. You shall worship me without expecting anything. You shall worship me because I am God, not because you are expecting anything from me, but in order to venerate me." The Lord said, "It is here that it is fulfilled the sentence, 'Happy are the poor in spirit, because theirs is the kingdom of heaven.'" Matt 5:3. Their spirits are empty and virgin in this dimension. You come to my presence without project or ambition or expectation. The Lord Jesus said, "Bartimaeus followed me in order to recover his sight. The first thing he did was to cast away his garment. The garment of Bartimaeus is a cover of protection and comfortability. Mark 10:46-52. In the third heaven, it is not about trying to get things from the Lord, but it's about the Lord making you. Jesus asked Bartimaeus, "What do you want me to do to you?" The Lord said, "My domain is all about worship and service. It is made up of angels serving me and 24 elders worshiping me." There are 3 levels in prayer. You must first purify yourself in the outer court, then you must claim what is yours in the second heaven because that's your right, but in the third heaven you contemplate and glorify my greatness. The Lord Jesus said, "In this dimension, my servant takes pleasure from me, nothing else. They don't want to receive anything from me, but they want me. I am a king and my servants are princes. It's all about royalty. They're contending and worshipping me. This is the third dimension. The princes are full of God." The Lord Jesus Christ said, "In the first and second heaven I want to bless and enrich my people, but this dimension is not about what a man can get from me. In the third heaven, men take pleasure in me more than anything that he could get from me. I become the center of attention and interest of men." The Lord said to me, "You are in the world of spirits." This is the fulfillment of the passage that said he has made us a kingdom of priests, Rev 1:6. What do I mean by a kingdom of priests? Just like a priest will burn a holocaust and the smoke will rise, we are in a dispensation of fire that must consume the holocaust, just like the children in the wilderness had the pillar of fire in the night and the pillar of cloud in the day. The church is functioning in the dispensation of fire and the pillar of cloud. This is about the blessing in the Old Covenant because the cloud announced the rain that watered the earth, but the pillar of fire and the new governance is about transformation and purification. The present priesthood consists of going through fire for purification. Once there is fire, the smoke will escape as a result of a holocaust. For the spirit of a person to escape his body, he must go through fire. The flesh must be burned on the altar of sacrifice. As a result, the spirit will escape the body like a cloud of smoke. The Lord does not want our spirit to be attached to our body and pick up the foul things of this world. The Lord said the third heaven was unknown in the time of Paul. This is why he used to say, I had difficult things to tell you, but you are not ready, you are still children. Paul was caught up in the third heaven. 2 Corinthians 12:2-4 I knew a man in Christ above 14 years ago, whether in the body, I cannot tell, or whether out of the body, I cannot tell, God knoweth. Winking face, such an one caught up to the third heaven. And I knew such a man, whether in the body, or out of the body, I cannot tell, God knoweth. Winking face, how that he was caught up into paradise, and heard unspeakable words, which it is not lawful for a man to utter. The Lord said, I will explain to you what I showed Paul, because he did not deliver this truth to his generation. The Lord said, the true worship consists of offering your body as a sacrifice on the altar. Once your body is consumed with fire and death on the altar, your spirit will escape the body like the smoke of the Holocaust. Unless your body is dead to all, your spirit will not leave your body, but once the body is consumed by the fire of purification, your spirit is then liberated from your body to the spirit realm, and then your spirit will be attending God's presence in the third heaven continually. Your spirit will be in permanent contact with the Father. Jesus said it is in the third heaven that the mystery of the cross is fulfilled. The sun was darkened and the veil of the temple was torn down the middle. Then Jesus called out in a loud voice, Father, into your hands I commit my spirit, and when he had said this he breathed his last. Luke 23:45-46. Jesus said to me, the cross is the ultimate altar and the ultimate sacrifice. It is written, therefore I urge you, brothers, on account of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as living sacrifices, holy and pleasing to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. Rom 12:1. Beloved, we must commit our spirit in the hand of God like Jesus on the cross through the sacrifice of the body. The Lord said, this is what is supposed to be the motivation in worship. Our spirits must be continually in the third heaven in His presence of God. Dear brothers and sisters, Jesus said, when you reach a stage where your spirit is attending my presence in the third heaven, it will be impossible for the spiritual wife and husband to attack you, because you are not in your body but in the heavenly. When our spirit leaves our body for the presence of God, our body that is left on the earth will be functioning like a receptor, getting messages that our spirit is receiving from God. In heaven, we will be having visions, dreams, revelations, because our spirit will be like a satellite capturing signals from the Lord and sending them back to our body on earth. It is written, the Spirit Himself testifies with our spirit that we are children of God. Rom 8:16, there is communication between the two spirits. The body received the message from the spirit, but unless our spirit leaves our body, we will be terrestrial and earthly bound. Our spirit must escape the body through the sacrifice in order to attend God's presence in the third heaven. The Lord gave me a passage in Jeremiah 1 verse 5, before I formed you in the womb I knew you, and before you were born I consecrated you. I have appointed you a prophet to the nations. The spirit of Jeremiah was known by the Lord before the formation of his body. The Lord said, I knew Jeremiah before the formation of his body. I knew you Christians before I formed your body in the womb of your mother. I knew you as prophet, evangelist, pastor and teachers, soul winners, intercessors. I sent you to earth with a body as missionaries. When you come to my presence in the third heaven, you get a revelation of your identity. Your physical body is a tool allowing you to fulfill your mission on the earth. In your walk, there is a point you will sense the call in your spirit to work for my kingdom. That's the revelation of your identity. You will then understand why you are on the surface of the earth. I send you on earth in mission. I gave you the vehicle, which is your body, in order to execute your mission. Your spirit must always attend the third heaven in order to receive instruction and return in the body in order to execute the instruction. Beloved, you are in your body, which is your vehicle. You must ask the Lord, what is your mission, to whom you are sent, what is your purpose? Then the Lord held my hand and we descended to the second heaven through another direction, but my trajectory to the third heaven was from the church to the outer court. Then I entered the first heaven, then the second heaven. In fact, the structure of the kingdom of heaven, it is just like the tabernacle you see in Jerusalem.